Okay, everyone, welcome to Mindfulness with Marcia this week, and it's time for the big reveal. So, what exactly was the most requested topic this year? To increase mindful living, but also, and that would have been from you fellow ranchers, sharing with me or sending emails, but it also was one of the big resolutions for the general public in the United States. Now, yes, we always have, I want to eat better, I want to have more nutrition, I'm going to go green, I'm going to exercise, I'm going to get to the gym more. We know those are kind of on the top as the top resolutions that people share. But this was right underneath it. So if we take those typical ones out, this was the next big topic. What is it? Decluttering. Yep, decluttering and simplifying stuff in people's lives. Now, I refer to that topic because I've been working on it as clearing. And so clearing stuff. And so we'll be talking about clearing. To me, the result of clearing stuff has been a cleaner home, a much more quieter mind, which has led to a calmer nervous system, definitely more ease in my daily routine, just physically more space, more openness. I feel like it's brought more light into my spaces. And quite honestly, just a lot more happiness. I really started this because I wanted it to align and help me become closer to my mindful living intention. And that's what I'll be looking at to align that with our discussions here with Mindfulness with Marcia, is to have a mindful living journey. How can clearing help? Now, first of all, I want to be really clear on clearing in that there are a lot of methods out there. There are a lot of books, there's online courses, there's the series in Netflix. And to be honest, I've done several of those. Yep, I've even taken a online course as well as read the book by the author who did the online course. Because I knew this was a real issue for me. Now, we're not talking about people who don't think they have an issue, like, for example, a hoarder who has some other psychological issues here. I'm talking about, we know that we want to live with less stuff. And there's a number of reasons why that might be your intention, and we may look at some of those along the way. But there's a real honest, an honest observation that I've made is that though all these courses and things are well intended, and were so in my life, sometimes they kind of fall short of helping and getting people to really clear things out, especially for good. So why is it so hard to simplify our lives and care for ourselves? And why are we so overwhelmed? Well, I think we'll look at that two together. But instead of attacking the stress and getting rid of the stuff, as most methods teach, I want to share this time with you with Mindfulness with Marcia in a more gentle way to release some of the underlying causes that get in the way for mindful living, like our patterns and our resistance and our attachments, just things that hold us back in general, also hold us back, I believe, in clearing. For me, a Japanese concept that I ran across, oh gosh, it's been years now, called Kaizen, it's spelled Kaizen, is about taking small steps that lead to big changes through continuous improvement. That's been key. And I use that too, even in my professional life, in that I just don't find like a big kaboom to be able to get true engagement in changing as well as lasting results. It seems to be those small mindful, thoughtful steps that do lead to continuous improvement and big changes. Or another way of putting it, it's sort of that slow drip. 1 minute of slow drip will lead to more minutes of clearing out and morphing, less effort, less baggage. And as I mentioned, the result for me has really been, even though I'm not quite there yet, and it's been 2 years, I'll share kind of why it's been so long, why, where my roadblocks were and those kind of things along the way. But I promise you that it has definitely led, even though that it was times hard to make a decision on how to actually clear certain areas of my life. Why I really believe there's a lot more happiness there. Now, while we will probably focus on clearing stuff, because I think when you think of the word decluttering, that's really what you think of as stuff. There are some issues that we've already talked about in mindful living that will help with that stuff, but will help with clearing in other areas. For example, slowing down in the process of clearing. Just slowing down is just a really good mindful living practice that really helps with intentions, any intentions we make. Simplifying, you're going to need to simplify things if you're going to tend to lightening your home of stuff, and experiencing big changes with small steps. We need to simplify. I think we're going to need to, sense into using some of our senses as to why, again, that end in mind, why, and that comes from Covey's work. Why do we want to clear? It might be initially, and it was for me sometimes, I'm just sick of this stuff falling out of the cabinet, or I'm sick of having to take things out in order to get way back in there to get something out. It's like, it's just a waste of time. But sensing into what else is it beyond just that immediately? This is, what's driving me crazy. And then, of course, we're going to have to surrender. We're going to have to step back and let go of some of the attachments, especially things that have a lot of sentimental value, if that's the stuff we're looking at. And then, of course, with this, what's that umbrella that we're looking at totally this year anyway is self-care and nourishing ourselves, our minds and our spirits, and setting some clear boundaries. We've got to be our best friend and advocate, especially if we live with others who clearing may not be like even something they want to even talk about, let alone tackle with you. So this week, and I'm in all seriousness, you need to prepare. You need to prepare for clearing. And so your pause is going to be, let's be real. I think we all could use some clearing of stuff, whether it's in a closet or that junk drawer. Maybe for you, it's an entire room, that you want to be utilized in a different way by your family. And so you need to get rid of some of the stuff. Could be the garage, or like me, I wanted to do my entire home because I wanted it to be aligned with my mindful living journey. And again, we'll talk about that later. So this week, where in your life, or I should say, where in your life stuff would you love a little clearing? And reflect on it. And I want you to ponder an intention. Again, that end in mind. Why? If it's just, like I said, this quick gut reaction, that's not going to take you through the process. You've got to have a real why. What do you want to get out of it? What do you want to see from clearing? Because let's face it, clearing is going to be work. And usually as humans, we want to know, well, what do I get out of the work? What's going to be my result if I do all this work? So until next week, I want you to pause, try to set up a little bit of an intention on why. Now friends, you might find that I want to just listen about this. This is kind of new to me. I've thought about it a little bit, but I'm not ready to jump in, Marsh, with both feet. That's okay. Bring your little finger and just come in and listen. Maybe you'll be a person that can help somebody else and be their cheerleader. Or maybe you'll start to say, maybe I'll dip in a whole hand now. I might want to maybe just do a drawer and try some of these things. Whatever your intention may be, please think on that. And of course, as always, until next week, be well.